When I first saw the Halo Infinite keyboard created by Razer, I realized Master Chief deserves better. It's up to me to make it better. Tactile and clicky don't make me laugh. #1 best-selling brand, double shot ABS, ergonomic no. This is kind of nice. Aha! Non-detachable cable. You might be asking yourself, why are you so obsessed with making a better keyboard than a Razer? Well, I guess you could say it all started in 2005 when I finally met Bungie and I made this assault rifle along with a set of armor. Now I can never go back. We're going to start with this keyboard. It's an ATCO 3068, a few years old. I modded it in a previous video which I'll link down below.
3, 2, 1, go!
I still have quite a bit of craft foam and the tape mod stayed on just fine. I'll save this stuff for later. Did you like that? Oh, look, a little hole. Hello, hello. When taking off the feet, you want to be super careful, so we're going to go nice and slow. If that's not satisfying, I don't know what is. Now I'm using some rubbing alcohol and paper towels to rub off the rest of the adhesive at the bottom of the feet. A little bit too long, so I decided to pour a tiny bit in the feet and let them soak. Now that everything's cleaned off, we're going to put on some tape and sand this thing down. I'm going to put a diagonal line on each side that go together. It's going to look real nice. They're going to be gold, shiny, and they're going to kind of signify his helmet. Got these small stickers I'm going to use to trace out the name in the priming process. Alright, we're going to use 150 grit sandpaper and sand this baby down. Now, in the future, I'm going to recommend you use wet sanding, as this did not turn out as clean as it should have. Give her a nice soapy rinse off. Now that it's all dry, we're going to tape off the standoffs because we don't want any extra paint adding any thickness to them. I got a little ahead of myself and painted the first layer of primer, and now we're going to on to wet sanding. Give this bad boy a little wet sanding. Now that it's all shiny, we can start going on to the green. Now this may seem weird, but I'm cracking some salt into a spoon. We're going to pour it onto our paint job here, and that's going to prevent the second layer from going over it. We can scrape this off to add some damage effects. Add a little bit of water and let it clump up. This is the green. It's a matte green. I think it's like mossy green, something like that. We're painting this over the silver. Now this is a crucial mistake that I'm going to explain to you soon.
What are those?
Oops, yeah, have you ever taken out the trash and just slip on whatever shoes you have in front of you without even putting them fully on? That's what I did. Now we're on to scraping off the salt we put on earlier with the toothbrush. After a few minutes, I realized my thumb's better than the toothbrush, so I'm just going to do it by hand. Peeling off the numbers, I should have used a waterproof vinyl as they would have come out way cleaner. And switch and click, I'm calling you out because these lines are clean. I'll show you my technique in a second, but man, look at that. Now here's where mistake number 1 happens. Have my coffee, kids watching TV. I decide let's put some of the tape on the line so we can start doing our gold. And as I slowly start to work, but we'll move on and we'll roll with it. Here's my technique. I put down some blue Scotch tape and I'm spray painting the edges barely, just barely. That way that green is actually coating the line so that it doesn't get messed up and doesn't bleed through. If you do this, your lines will look super clean. And that gold just looks so good. Little did he know, tragedy would strike again. Time for another cool technique. If you take a nail filer, which you can get for $1 at any grocery store, spray on your metal coating onto it. You can kind of use it to add some blast marks and some streaks and strikes. It's kind of cool, and it turned out really, really well if I could actually keep the object in frame. As you can see, the paint did peel up again, but the aesthetic of this board is just beautiful, and I think I'm really happy with it. So now we're mixing acrylic paint with some water, and we're painting over the board, and we're going to wipe it up with paper towels. Once you do this, it adds a little more depth to the cracks and all the damage, and it comes out really nice because Master Chief has a lot of black in his armor anyway from damage, from grenades and rocket launchers and ARs, so it kind of matches his armor style. Now we're just putting on our 4 layers of clear coat because we're all done. Now I'm pausing here because I mixed up my clear coat with metal spray paint and nearly ruined the entire project. Now, we're going to put the rubber feet back on. The rubber feet still had some adhesive left over from previously, so it actually worked out perfectly. Now the extra rubber we found laid around earlier, that was from my garage door seal that I had set up just a few weeks before. So I decided let's throw it in a keyboard, let's see how it sounds. We are going with like a double mod here with some foam at the bottom and the rubber up top to absorb the sound from the switches. So we'll see how that sounds. If you watched my previous video, you'll know that I used Gateron Yellows Pros for this, and they look incredible with this build. Not that you'll see them or anything, but they just look so pretty. Just picked up the keycaps. These are a semi-profile. They're supposed to be in between Cherry and OEM to reduce any interference. Side printed with a little bit of texture on the top. Ooh, that's some nice foam on the case here. Worst thing you can do is give a keyboard guy some foam. That was quick. Oh man, these look absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, there's the finished board. As you can see, there's a little bit more damage than I had intended before. That's because of the metal spray paint I mixed up with my clear coat near the end of the project. That first layer of clear coat though completely saved my life. And I'm pretty satisfied with how this came out considering what happened. So, do I think I made a better board than Razer? Well, it looks better, it sounds better, it's not clicky, so I would say yes, but there's only one more thing to test. If you've made it this far, seriously, thank you. Making a themed keyboard was super fun, and I love the way it turned out. I'd love to do more of these in the future, so leave a like, subscribe, watch the whole thing. You might learn a thing or two, just like I did. It's late, I'm going to bed.